Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I am Fugget, standing for the fittest underdog guru that using intelligent tactics. So today, guys, I want to talk to you about dating sites, all right? Now, there's a lot of people that have very strong opinions on dating sites, and some of them just say, they're all hookup sites, or, you're not going to meet anybody of substance, or everyone's just, going to be a whore on here, etc. So if you're just looking for sex, go on a dating site, you'll find them and what have you. But I think it's very, personally, I think it's very narrow-minded and short-sighted, because not everybody is doing that. And the evidence of that is everyone's opinion on it, because a lot of people have been on these sites and they always say they're not the one that's doing that. That's not, looking for a hookup. The ones that talk about it, they're very outspoken. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Now, I've been on dating sites, and I've been on, 5 or 6 different ones over the years. And it's interesting because the first time I had heard about anybody meeting online was very early in my wrestling career. And one of the referees at a show came up to me and he introduced his new girlfriend. And maybe I think they were going to get engaged or something. But anyways, the point is that he's like, hey, this is so-and-so. And I was like, oh, very nice to meet you. How did you guys meet? And he goes, oh, we met online. And I remember just being taken off guard by that, because I thought, people meet online? So I think at the time it was chat rooms or some forum or something. But anyways, these two developed a connection and started chatting on instant messenger or something, and finally met in person and developed a love affair and eventually got married and lived happily ever after. So, but I remember at the time, my immediate reaction or thought about it was, wow, there's people that aren't good at interacting one-on-one with people, or they don't know how to meet people. So this is probably good for those that are kind of socially delayed, or just don't have the skills to be able to communicate in person. And so they're kind of these techie nerd types that are going to meet this way. And well, that's good. There's something for everybody. But I thought, it's not for me. It's not, ever going to be a thing. It's going to be this weird thing that if you do meet somebody in this way, you're probably going to seem more ashamed or kind of quiet about it, because it's so just different, So what's really interesting though is that I think the popularity of these sites and the likelihood that if you're single or newly divorced or what have you, and you're looking to meet somebody, in today's culture, it gets harder and harder, and especially if you get older, it gets harder to meet people. I mean, I spend most of my working hours in a gym, and I can tell you, going back to the late 80s, early 90s, that, we didn't have the headphones and all the other distractions with our smartphones. In the gym, which I see a lot of people do now, they'll be on their phones, they'll be, wearing headsets, whatever, and just in their zone working out, getting their work in, and are not necessarily antisocial, but they're definitely focused on what they're doing. And it's not so much a place where there's community anymore, or everybody, and people, used it as a place to socialize with like-minded and similar goaled people, and, develop connections that way. Whether it's at your job or whether it's, out in a public setting, people are a lot less likely to make small talk, or, they're a little bit gun shy, so to speak. So, I think that as life has changed, we've gotten busier and busier. I think in some regards we've gotten lazier. People are just, they want it now. I mean, I remember, dial-up internet where you'd have to wait, for a connection, and things just moved a lot slower. And, I think now it's we're looking for the fastest, quickest gratification, things to pay off now. And, it's interesting, because I think there's good and bad with dating sites. And I have several friends that are on dating sites, and they get frustrated with it, and they just don't get it, especially the longer they've been out of the game. and they don't really necessarily know the rules of dating sites or kind of what the culture is. And so I'm going to break it down from my perspective. So from what I've seen over time using sites is that it's really a numbers game. First off, you know, you're going through and you're swiping right, swiping left, and you're maybe looking for first a physical attraction to a person, and maybe just swiping on the ones that you think are good looking. You know, I think a lot of times too, you'll have people that will also get on there and read every profile, you know, and really try to get to know the person by how much content they put up, you know, about themselves. But I'm noticing less and less people are doing that. They're just putting, you know, just some real basics or what their deal breakers are. And so in one regard, it's very impersonal, because it's really, you know, someone hiding behind a phone or a keyboard or whatnot. And so they're going to give you very limited information. But on the other hand, it's also a really quick feeder system to see, you know, who you match with and who might be attracted to you. I think if you've never been on a dating site, it's really fascinating to just go on and match with a bunch of different people, or like swipe right on a bunch of different people, and then see who's attracted to you. Because in everyday life, and you know, people aren't necessarily they have different like social cues, or they're a little more shy or reserved, and you don't know if someone's being nice to you or if they're attracted to you. So it's really interesting to see you know, what kind of people are attracted to you. So if nothing else, it's kind of a little case study on your appeal in the sexual marketplace to see where you fit in. It is a little impersonal, and I know that people that are used to the old school, old-fashioned way of meeting people, like in person, and a relationship developing slow, really have a hard time at first with, you know, this type of dating. I don't think that it's an end-all be-all. So for instance, it's not an either or. Like, you don't have to go on a site to meet people. You can meet people in the real world. You don't have to choose one or the other. You can do both. You know, it's like in business, you know, you don't just do certain types of marketing, like, oh, we just run television ads. You know, well, maybe you do, you know, social media, and you also go knock door to door or cold call. There's a lot of different ways to drum up business, and, you know, from that perspective. And the same is true, I think, for your dating or your romantic life, is, you know, just see it as one potential stream of meeting people. And if you take it lightly and just enjoy it, and, you know, you want to see, you know, what's out there in your general area. I've matched with people that live 5 miles away from me, and I've never seen them, and they've lived in the area, you know, for 10 years. And it's like, well, you would think I'd run into them at the grocery store or at a restaurant or at the gym, but people have different schedules, you know, so you just never know who you're going to meet and who's in your proximity that you might match with and really have an amazing relationship with for the short or long term. You know, you just never know. So, I mean, I think that I heard it said best the other day when people are like, oh, social media is terrible. And, you know, this influencer goes, no, we're terrible. It's a reflection of us. And, you know, with everything, there's good and bad. And so I think it's your perspective, it's your attitude. And, you know, when you get on there, you know, just really think about, you know, how you want to, it's like your business card, you know, you're putting yourself out there, and, you know, you can state your needs, your wants, what you're looking for, and then you see what you find. But in the meantime, still continue to work on yourself, still continue to work hard, improve yourself, work on, you know, your body, work on, you know, educating yourself, being a good friend, being a good family member, what have you. And if you meet people that way, great, but you shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So anyways, whether it's a Tinder, a Bumble, an OkCupid, there's so many different apps out there now. And, you know, I say jump on and try and see what you got, see what they got, and go from there. So guys, like, share, subscribe. Hope that information helps. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions. I'll do another video on dating sites, dating apps, maybe question and answer your frustrations with it, and we'll go from there. So enjoy your day, guys. Fug it is gone. Take care. Have a great day.